of conversation that you can have with somebody. Now, you have strengths. Each one of you here has topics of conversation that they're strong on. I missed out one quality earlier on when I was talking about those principles of attraction. The one quality I missed out was displaying excellence. I kind of missed it out on purpose. I wanted to add it now. I want you to realise that this point is where you get to show how good you are at something. You can steer the conversation onto a topic you're comfortable with. I have managed to steer on picking up chicks onto zombie survival. I'm good at it. I think I've talked about zombie survival in every boot camp I've ever done. I like talking about zombies. I've also managed to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm good at that. I like Dungeons and Dragons. These are things I'm good at, and these are things I can talk about. So I make references to them. You don't need to actually get her to understand the topic. You just need her to be able to relate to it. So let's say, for example, let's pick a job. Let's say you are a software virus protection engineer. A virus protection software engineer. Do we have any of those in the room? Everyone puts their hands up. No, nobody. It's like first PUA community talk and there's not one software antivirus developer, whatever. Okay, beautiful. So this is a great job. This is a job that I know nothing about. And I'm going to imagine that I've got this random job and I'm talking to a girl. Is there any way for me to relate this to her? She says, what do I do for a living? And I say, well, it's kind of complicated. Let me explain it to you. What I do is this. Imagine a shopping mall. And imagine there are little hoodies trying to run into it and steal all of the really nice Louis Vuitton handbags. They're not taking the Coach ones because no one wants those. So they're taking all these really nice handbags. And in front of all of these little shops, there's a dude with his arms folded with sunglasses. I make that little dude inside computers. This she gets. Hi, I'm a high-tech virus computer program software engineer, actually. She doesn't get. Relate things to people. Relating is all about finding an association. You may not be interested in video games. You may not care that one of my friends was one of the best video game players at Street Fighter 2 in the UK. He just happened to be. Doesn't matter. You can relate to being the best at something. So instead I say to you, have you ever entered a competition and wanted to be the best at something? It doesn't matter in what. Have you ever tried to be the best? Let me tell you, one of my best friends who I care about a lot, he's just become #1 in the UK at this video game. He practices 8 hours a day. And although you might think it's a waste of time, because of that, he just landed a contract with a very big video game company for £60,000 a year. So all the people that laughed at him and said, ha ha ha, playing video games won't get you anywhere, to you, because now he's rich. You know, they can get it, they can understand it. You can relate topics of conversation to other people, simply, by just bringing it back to the core component of finding something they can relate to. Conversation can be built. You can turn the conversation onto topics you want, so it never has to dry up. Each one of you has something that you're excellent at, something that other people in the room can't talk about forever. I can talk about zombies for a very long time. I'm not going to, but I can. So all I have to do is relate the conversation onto something I'm comfortable with. Now, I don't want to completely monopolise the conversation and make it only about zombies. That wouldn't be interesting. But I can definitely allude to it every so often. I can also allude to music and movies, which I also know a lot about, and relationships, which I also know a lot about. All of these things give me an arsenal of conversation to talk about. And all I have to do is listen to what she says and then respond to it. What are you doing? I'm here on holiday. No way. Myself, I've just come back to London from living in America. So I'm kind of on holiday in my hometown, which is kind of weird. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone somewhere and then come back and everything's changed? She can relate to that. She may not be able to relate to living in America, but she can relate to the concept of moving and travelling. That makes sense to everybody? Good. Conversation is all about making sure that you keep it flowing. And you keep it flowing by adding statements of your own and listening to what the other person says. If you want to transition and you want the conversation to go on beyond the opener, this is the key. Now, I don't want you to feel